Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, Carolina basketball. The Tar Heels sit at 5-1, ranked 17th in the nation, and they are in the midst of an impressive stretch on the schedule in which they're playing a lot of very good teams, a couple of teams that several teams could very well end up in the Final Four. The schedule is that difficult, but it's also going to be very revealing and very beneficial to the Tar Heels, especially if they can pick up a couple of more wins against this slate. Last week, they went 2-1 in the Bahamas at the Battle for Atlantis, beating Northern Iowa, also beating Arkansas, sandwiching a loss by 2 points in overtime to Villanova. They beat Arkansas without Cormac Ryan. They beat Arkansas with Armando Bacot going 9 points and 4 rebounds. Very good win for this team. Arkansas is going to win a lot of games this year, will be in the tournament. So will Tennessee. And the Volunteers come to the Smith Center Wednesday night. Rick Barnes, who Carolina fans still don't like, some nearly 30 years later, they just don't like him. That's great. Make a better atmosphere at the Smith Center. Volunteers ranked 10th in the country, even though they lost twice last week. They lost to number 1 Purdue, and they lost to then number 2 Kansas. So that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with losing those two teams. They weren't blown out. They have a win over Wisconsin on the road by 10 points. And last week they beat Syracuse by 17 points. They played Syracuse, Kansas, and Purdue in the Maui Invitational, which was played in Honolulu. That's tough. And now they're in Chapel Hill. So the Volunteers are 4-2, but they're a very good team. This is a club that has a chance to go far in the NCAA tournament again, a little bit revamped with Dalton Knecht leading them in scoring. He's a kid from Northern Colorado that whose name was tossed around with North Carolina back in April when he entered the portal. I think some of the things about this game that Carolina fans need to keep an eye on are the physicality. This is going to look more like the Villanova game than it will like the Arkansas game. The Volunteers are very, very content pulling you into an alley and roughing you up some. Although I think their skill level is a little underappreciated. They're averaging around 74 points a game. They put 80 up on Wisconsin on the road, a club that plays a fairly methodical style and is always very good defensively. And they will keep you from shooting a high percentage. I mean, they are hell-bent on defending and challenging shots. I think opponents are hitting about 38% from the floor, around 26% from the perimeter. So the Tar Heels are going to have to work to get good shots. Hubert likes to call set plays. I don't think set plays are going to work great against Tennessee because they'll be very well scouted. Rick Barnes is one of the best advanced scouts defensively as a head coach as there is in college basketball. They'll be prepared for the stuff that Carolina runs. So the Tar Heels are going to have to be excellent when sets break down and they get into a form of freelance, which I think is this team's best way of playing. When we've looked at when we've watched them through the first 6 games, they've had significant runs in each game, and they've had a lot of them in the second half. And the two byproducts of those runs are increased intensity on defense, forcing some turnovers, forcing misses, and turning them into fairly easy quality looks on the other end, and also more of a motion freelance, just hoop it up stuff on offense. There were times last year when Hubert Davis in those situations would stop a secondary run and call a set play. He actually did it a couple times last week. I think against Tennessee, Carolina's the more talented team. Carolina's at home. Carolina's got a lot of dudes on the floor that have vision and are willing passers. They're very good cutters. They need to rely on that and use that to score, to shoot better than 38% that Tennessee's allowing, to get enough open looks that the Tar Heels shoot better than 26.5% from the perimeter, which is what Tennessee's allowing. On the other end, Tennessee is not an efficient offensive team yet. They're scoring some and they get out in transition a little bit and they get some easy baskets, but they're not shooting a particularly high percentage. I think they're around 36% or 40% from the floor. They're around 30 from the perimeter, 31 from the perimeter. So they're not wretched, but they're not great so far. Carolina can't let them be great. They cannot soft switch and allow a lot of looks and allow drives into the lane, suck into the defense. It just simply opens up all kinds of things. So those are going to be the two keys to the game as far as Carolina goes. I also think rebounding is in there as well. Tar Heels have shown some signs early on that they can play ruggedly. Jalen Withers, he doesn't mind the alley. Cormac Ryan, provided he's healthy Wednesday night, and as of the time of we're doing this recording, we don't have information. We have a press conference with Hubert Davis on Tuesday. We'll get more information about Cormac Ryan. We will report that on our site, TarHeelIllustrated.com, which, by the way, you could be a premium member for just $8.33 a month for a 1-year subscription. And by the way, you just missed out on a great promotion where it was $2.09 a month for a 1-year subscription. And I also believe that Paxson Wojcik is a guy that can muck it up. Harrison Ingram is a very nice guy. When you talk to him, you don't think this guy can handle a back alley, but he can. He's got that in his game as well. And I also think another thing to watch in this game is Armando Bacot, who kind of, I guess I would say he struggled in the Bahamas. They didn't run as much stuff through him. He attempted 27 shots, which is probably less than you want him to attempt, but he was 9 for 27. He had 27 points, 30 rebounds, 18 came against Villanova. So we only had 12 in the other 2 games. That's not Armando-like, but he acknowledged after the Cal Riverside game that it's really different playing with Jalen Withers at the 4 versus playing with Harrison Ingram at the 4. It's a significant adjustment for him, maybe more than he thought, more than anybody else thought. So this is a game with the way Tennessee defends that's really going to challenge his comfort with whoever it is playing the 4. And it will also be a healthy 40 minutes of basketball where he'll grow with both Withers and Ingram at the 4. This will force growth. Even if he doesn't play well, it will still force growth. So a lot of things to look forward to with this game. Tar Heels host Florida State over the weekend. Next Tuesday, they're at Madison Square Garden to take on defending national champion Connecticut. Then they have 10 days off, head to Atlanta, take on Kentucky in the CBS Sports Classic. And a few days after that, a very improved Oklahoma team will see them in Charlotte. Then it's Charleston Southern, and then it's ACC games the rest of the way until the NCAA tournament, provided the Tar Heels make the NCAA tournament. Go ahead and hit like in this video if you're excited about the Tar Heels taking on the Volunteers. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you get updates every time we upload a video. And make sure you share this with your Carolina Tar Heel friends. Let them know we are here. And also let them know about our site, TarHeelIllustrated.com. We go where the Tar Heels go, guys. Except last week. I didn't go to the Bahamas. I had to stay here because of football, but we did have people in the Bahamas. So technically THI was there as well. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.